Hello everyone. I first featured this Dyson DC26 Multifloor in January 2019. So in 2025 I thought I would show you it again before it leaves my collection, because this is another one that will be up for sale on my Facebook page, link below. Yeah, it's a dinky little thing. Very dinky indeed. I didn't get this brand new. I seem to remember the seller said it was new or nearly new or something, but it's clearly been used. But it's not been used a great deal. It is so tiny, and I think Dyson, when this first came out, they sold it on the fact that it would fit on an A4 sized piece of paper. The body itself, obviously not including the hose, just the main body. But it's a tiny thing. I can't remember how it performs. I don't even know if I did a proper demo of it when I first got it, but I will be demoing it in this video. I've got the box, although it's a bit worse for wear. What are the main features of this Dyson? It says hygienic and quick to empty, HEPA filter, small and compact, fits on an A4 sheet of paper, lightweight, robust chassis, only 3.5 kilograms, no extra costs, no replacement bags or filters to buy, root cyclone technology, miniaturized cable rewind, easy access filter door, centralized motor, captures allergens, expels cleaner air. Well, it captures the allergens until you empty it. Root cyclone, I think I've said that. Clear bin, 5-year guarantee, parts and labour, detachable handle, allergy sufferers, it's got the British Allergy Foundation seal of approval, 2 tools, storage slot, dual channel floor tool. This will be made in Malaysia, I'm pretty sure. It's 1300 watts, so it's obviously pre-EU regulations. 1300 watt motor in such a tiny wee thing. That's good, isn't it, folks? There, so that's the box. Now, I'm not at home, as you can tell from the sofa possibly and the carpet, so I don't have my suction gauge with me, my sealed suction gauge, so I will film that part of the video when I take this home, so we can see the sealed suction, because I didn't have my suction gauge when I first got this cleaner. So it's got a very small capacity, obviously, because it's a tiny machine. Stores away in the smallest of spaces. This is the bin. I have polished up the bin a bit, so it does look quite good, but it clearly had use. Here's the root cyclones. And then we've got an empty bin press button here, which should activate the flap at the bottom. Yes, a flap has opened. And then of course the bin comes off if you need to give it a more thorough clean and you want to get a brush to that inner shroud, or if you just want to give the cyclones a hard tap on a soft surface just to dislodge any dirt that might have clung to those inner cyclones. So we'll pop that back, locate it at the front first. There we are. Little sticker on here, Dyson City DC26 Multifloor for every floor type, carpet, ceramic, vinyl, wood. Well, I don't think the supplied nozzle will be ideal for carpet, certainly not pet hair pickup. Hygienic to empty, HEPA filter, no extra cost, 5-year guarantee. That's it, and that's the max fill line there. It does have some filters. Now I need a coin to access one. Right, there is a filter though. I think this, I don't know if this is pre or post. There is something behind this wheel, and I was fiddling with this before I started filming and couldn't get it to open. It does tell us about the filter, or filters on the back, that they are washable. Important wash filters with cold water every month. So there's a pre and post motor filter, so there'll be a round pre-motor filter in here, or is it the post? I'm not sure. Blimey. Right, I'll try that later. But we do have another filter under here, which we need a coin or a screwdriver to open. There we go. Ah, so that, because of the black carbon dust, that is definitely the post motor filter that can be washed. It says wash both filters, so that will be rinsable. It's not too bad. Wonder if I can still buy filters for this cleaner now, because Dyson stopped supporting a lot of their machines on their website. If you go onto certain machines looking for spares, they'll tell you they don't support them anymore, but you'll be able to get spares from other places, I'm sure. Right, how does that get back on? There we are. Then we need to lock it back. Right, so that's post motor. So this one must be pre, but I can't figure out why it's not opening up, because there is a catch, a button. Seems to me that the whole thing should open up. Ah, there we go. It was just, I didn't press it enough. It's one of these donut shaped filters. Well, that's not bad, is it? It's quite clean. I haven't cleaned it myself. That must be how it was. There's the motor inside there. I've also got another Dyson to show you again at some point. I can't remember the model, but it's about this shape, form factor, but it has a digital motor. I might sell that, I'm not sure. This has a standard brushed motor, so obviously due to the carbon dust on the exhaust filter, so it's a regular motor inside this DC26. So this is the Dyson DC26 City, serial number 763UKA 81743. I've no idea how to date these. It's BEAB approved, double insulated, 230 to 240 volts, 50 Hz, 1300 watts. For patent information, see operating manual. Made in Malaysia by Dyson Limited. So let's pop the bin back in the machine. On the back of the cleaner, we've got a red on-off button, automatic cord rewind, and the parking slot. The cable pulls out from the back of the machine. It's quite a smooth action, and it's a good quality cable actually. I thought it would be one of those flatter cables, considering this is a tiny vacuum cleaner, but then again this tiny vacuum has a 1300 watt motor in it, so I suppose it needs a thicker cable. Let's pull it out. We've got a little sticker warning us we shouldn't really pull it out much beyond this yellow sticker. There will be a red one coming up. There it is. So really you shouldn't pull out the cable beyond the red. So I'll just let it go back in a bit, like so. We'll have a look at the plug. It looks a bit old worldy Dyson plug here. You can just about see the Dyson logo embossed on this 13 amp fused plug. The hose is attached, but when it was brand new it would have been separate. You would have had to click it into position on the side of the machine. So it seems a pretty good hose, quite short, but it's pretty tough. I reckon this is better quality than the Dyson cleaners you can buy now, dare I say it. Here's the handle, quite a nice design, with the trigger. So that briefly reduces the suction. You have to keep your finger in the hole if you want to reduce the suction for cleaning a lightweight rug or your curtains. And then as soon as you release it, obviously it's back to full power, full suction. Now, before I attach the handle, I'll point out that you can fit the small tools directly to the hose. So if you want this for the car, that gives you a little bit more flexibility. It's a bit smaller for getting in the nooks and crannies. So that's one of the nozzles, your upholstery nozzle for upholstered furniture, possibly your stairs, curtains, etc. And then Dyson's combi tool, much copied, which combines a crevice tool and this soft dusting brush. That's good for your Venetian blinds and dusting your general hard surfaces. Pushes back for use as a crevice tool. It should come off as well actually. That's a bit stiff. Possibly not. I did think you could remove these, but doesn't want to play ball at the moment. Let's push it back anyway. if I can. That comes with this little caddy, so you can store the tools on this. That's it. And then this will click to the wand. So we can put the handle on now, like so. So you can use the tools directly on the handle, of course, or on the end of the wand. So here's the extension wand. It's all plastic. Click. This hose is a little bit stiff, a bit awkward. And this is the button you press to extend the wand. So you can pull it fully out or have it at different settings, lots of different settings you can have it, like so. I'll just clip the tools onto the wand, like that. You can move it up and down, find the best position for you. And then finally, to finish assembly, we can pop this head, so straight suction nozzle that you can see my hand through, this middle part. But it's supposed to have dual channels, so there's suction channels at the front and the back, and little wheels at the front for manoeuvrability and larger ones at the back, litter pickers to help pick up fibrous material, dog hair, etc. That's your parking bracket to slot into the back of the cleaner. Flexible neck, and you've got the bellows here in the middle, you can move up and down. And then we can pop it in like so with the old Dyson click. So this cleaner is now ready for use. Okie dokie, it's time to switch on this Dyson DC26. It might be quite loud, I can't remember. This was made before the EU regulations, which not only limited the wattage, they also limited the sound level of domestic vacuums. So now they can't sell a vacuum cleaner that's above 80 decibels and above 900 watts. So obviously this 1300 watt vacuum cleaner is way above the current limits, as will the noise level be, I suspect. But we'll soon find out. Let's give it a go. It's not too bad. It's not too bad. I've heard worse. This nozzle though, it doesn't really seem to be doing much. It's very, very easy to push. Have I extended it fully? Oh no, I thought it was a bit short. There we go, that's a bit better. It's picked something up though off this clean carpet. I'll just give it another quick go. We'll put some dirt down as well, obviously, so we can actually see how it performs. This Dyson City is a bit loud. I think if I was to use it for a longer period, I'd have a ringing in my ears. I'm quite used to using quieter vacuum cleaners these days with the EU regulations. I certainly agree with the noise level limitations that the EU imposed, but as far as the wattage, I think they went a bit far. I think to set it at 900 watts maximum is a bit low. I think 1200 watt would have been a good compromise, and I think most of the cleaners that you get in the US of A would be about 1200 watts. So for example, Sebo could produce 1200 watt cleaners to be sold in the USA and Canada as well as the UK and Europe. Obviously they'd have to do different motors for the USA. I'm not sure if Canada, I think Canada may be on the same voltage as the United States. So it has picked something up. Now it's picked up quite a lot of things that we couldn't see on the carpet, because I've done a few demonstrations in this room recently using red lentils, and obviously some of the cleaners have scattered them beyond reach of a normal vacuum. I do quite like this nozzle because, as you saw, it goes under places. It went under the sofa, it went under the sideboard, so it will go places where a conventional nozzle won't go because it is very slim. So it's found some red lentils. I heard them going up my pipe. So, and it's blimey. Yeah, it's found some other stuff as well. I've just duo-P'd this carpet using Seebo's duo-P powder, and I did vacuum it thoroughly afterwards, but I've clearly left a bit of the powder in the carpet. So let's have a look what we've got in the bin. Wow, that's surprising considering the nozzle is very easy to push. It doesn't feel like it was doing very much. You can see the lentils in there. That's pretty good actually. Wow. Yeah, a lot of fine dust, as you can see on the inside. But considering the carpet looked very clean, not only has it removed some more of the duo-P powder, we've also got some fluff or hairs and the lentils that were hiding under the sofa and sideboard. Okie dokie, I'm going to put down some visible dirt on this carpet, but I can't go too mad. I can't do a huge mess test because obviously we are restricted to the maximum fill line. I could do a big mess test, but I'd be constantly emptying this and have to be keeping an eye on that, because if I go above that, the alarm sounds and the Dyson fill line police will be knocking on my door. But because I'm not home, they won't know where I am. I could get away with it, but I don't want to abuse this machine. I will try and use it as Dyson intended, which is basically for very small amounts. This is a tiny, tiny vacuum. It's not for a big home with lots of carpets. It's called the City because I think Dyson designed this for people with small apartments. You know, little flats, studio apartments, not much carpet, some hard floor, you know, maybe some upholstery to vacuum, and its small footprint means it would go inside a cupboard. So it's ideal really if you're living in a home with very little storage and not a lot to clean, and good for the car as well because of its small form factor. I do quite like it. It's a shame Dyson don't do anything similar at the moment. They did relaunch their cylinder vacuum cleaners fairly recently for some reason. They brought them back. They're just the same as far as I can tell, but nothing as small as this DC26. Okay, I'll shove some muck down on this floor. I'll also test it on a hard floor as well, because I'm not sure how well this particular nozzle will clean a hard floor. There's no brushes or anything, but you never know, it might do a good job. Oh no, I think the Dyson fill line police have caught up with me. All right, governor, it's a fair cop. Cuff me and take me down to the station for questioning. Well, fortunately, they're not here. It's a false alarm. I have gone beyond. I've gone way beyond. I could tell. I was keeping an eye, but I could tell I was going beyond because the suction was reduced. It was losing its suck. Let's see how much suck it's got. Yeah, I can. It's not sounding too good. It's sounding a bit choked. I'm not surprised. I have been very, very naughty. Let's have a look. Well, I think I could be let off that. I mean, it's not much more. You can see though that the finer dust is more or less at the bottom. The lentils are at the top. There's also some fluff near the shroud. Well, this has done a pretty good job, to be honest. I'm quite impressed with this little vacuum cleaner. It's you know, for what it is, it's quite good. And I'm not just saying that because I'm probably going to sell it. Yeah, for the intended user, somebody with a small apartment, as I said, or to use as a secondary vacuum. You might have a big upright and you'd want something to supplement it. Or if you've got a Dyson cordless, a DC35 or something like that. What was the one after the DC35? I can't remember. DC16 or something? Oh, I think that was just a handheld. I'm not sure. Anyway, I've had most of them. But yeah, to use in conjunction with a little cordless machine. If you want something with, you know, that doesn't wear out, the battery won't fail on you in the middle of your cleaning. Anyway, yeah, that's a bit naughty of me, isn't it? So what I'm going to do now is empty some of this onto a hard floor so we can test out the DC26 hard floor cleaning ability, and then I'll also empty some on the sofa behind me and we'll try out the small upholstery nozzle. I'm just going to insert this section as I'm back home now and I have access to my suction gauge, which I should have remembered to pack when I visited my mum's house, but I've got it now. So let's see how much sealed suction this tiny little DC26 can produce. Wow, considering the small size of this Dyson, this really does pack a punch, peaking at 106 on my suction gauge. As a comparison, a standard pneumatic Henry would be around 80 with a 620 watt motor. Now obviously this motor is more than double the wattage of a Henry, but yeah, that's pretty impressive for such a tiny vacuum. So there you go, that's the Dyson City DC26 Multifloor, the little vacuum that could. And yeah, it did perform far better than I remembered and far better than I expected it to pick up. It's a little bit on the loud side, very small capacity, but then again, it's a tiny, tiny little vacuum cleaner. It's almost toy-like in its size, but it does pack a punch with its 1300 watt motor. It's pretty good. I mean, this nozzle, despite the fact that it doesn't feel like it's doing anything when you're pushing it on a carpet, it does pick up the bits, certainly the surface dirt. I'm not sure how much of a deep cleaner this would be. And as I said, for fully carpeted larger homes, this is not the cleaner for you. But it's not the cleaner for most people because, unfortunately, as I said, it's not available anymore. Unless you go over to my Facebook within a few days of me uploading this video, you might still see it available for sale. I don't know how much I'm going to ask for it. I'll have to see how much I paid for it in the first place. But yeah, it's in almost new condition. There's a few scuffs here and there, but yeah. I don't know whether I want to get rid of it. I'm not sure. I've still got the other miniature Dyson canister to show you again. Can't remember that model number. Go back and check my Dyson playlist. But I will be showing you that one again. I think that one I did get brand new. And it does have the digital motor, which does make it quite interesting in my eyes and possibly in yours. So, if you've any comments or questions about this little vacuum cleaner, please comment below. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be very grateful for a thumbs up and grateful if you subscribe. And when you do, click the bell icon and you'll be notified of all my new uploads. And don't forget, check out my Facebook page, link below the video. So, until the next one, from me and the Dyson City, it's goodbye and thanks for watching.